Hello, YouTube replay. Today was weird day, weird full moon day. So, I don't know if I'm ready for, tonight or not, but we shall see. Welcome, how are you? You know what? My day was not great, but my hair is, and you have to take the small wins. I haven't washed my hair in like 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? I think it has. And it's looking stunning. Hi, Sophia. How are you doing? Right? Thank you. I don't know what it is. It's water only hair care, I think, is what changed my hair's like texture. But I usually will put like shampoo and conditioner in it at least like once every 10 days or so, but I just didn't this last weekend because I'm doing, for the event tomorrow, we're doing like a cleansing ritual, and I figured I would just wash my hair and everything for the ritual, so I kind of waited until this weekend, and I thought that my hair was gonna be like gross, but it's not. I don't know, not using shampoo and conditioner regularly has transformed my hair, because the natural oils just stay in it and help it stay healthy, I guess. But it doesn't work for everybody. I'm blessed. Hi from Sarah from England. Welcome. Honestly, I'm a bit of an Anglophile. Sometimes I do like to pretend that I'm from England, and I wish that I was, but I'm not. But unfortunately, that's unfortunate, because I really would like to be. I used to do my accent all the time. I don't do it as much anymore. Sometimes it just comes over me. I can't stop. My favorite is listening to people with thick accents from like Manchester or like Liverpool do like really authentic American accents. It's because, you know, it's fun to do each other's accents. So we're gonna do something kind of interesting tonight. So I'll do a little bit of reading, and if you want a personal reading, it's $33, or if you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll receive 2 cards per usual. And so we'll do that as always, but it's the full moon tonight, and I thought we could do something together that might help us. And that is to write a letter of forgiveness to ourselves for everything that we're kind of holding in from this past year. So just kind of going over the 2022 and just being like, I forgive myself for, and then just make a list. After we write that letter together, I'm gonna burn mine. You can do yours, you know, later when you want to, if you're not in a place where you can burn it, or you can dispose of it any way you want. You can just tear it up. It really doesn't matter. But we'll do that a little bit into the evening. We're gonna do a little bit of reading first and kind of check in on the energy. I gotta say, I had a really uncomfortable experience tonight that really showed me that I need to leave my home very soon. So if you have space and energy to imagine me coming live and saying like, I found a place to go and I'm so excited and I'm going to be out of my current situation, please send me those visualizations my way, because just was my mother is just very, she's just abusive, and it doesn't matter if you're a child or an adult. And then my dad just enables it, and I just like watched it happen tonight. It was the most ridiculous. I mean, it's always ridiculous to scream at a child. It doesn't matter what age they are, but it was over the most ridiculous thing, and there's just no accountability, and I can't live like that anymore. So I'm hoping I'm gonna start packing next week. Packing is a really good thing to do when you want to leave a place. It's like it energetically helps to kind of start getting you into the mindset. So I'm gonna start doing that next week, and hoping that I can head in somewhere new. Yours too? Isn't it? Thank you. My new place is amazing. Isn't it interesting how it doesn't matter if you're an adult or a child? Like, one of the things I said to her this week, because there's been a couple of outbursts this week, and one of the things I said was, I want you to imagine yourself right now talking to a person on the street or at your job. She used to be a school nurse. And I want you to imagine yourself talking to the children that you used to take care of as a school nurse this way, or a stranger that you don't know. Because I just do not think that as a Virgo, you would ever be allowed, like, ever let anyone see you act this way out in public. And I just want you to kind of get a sense of why it's permissible for you to treat me the way that you wouldn't even treat a stranger just because we're blood. Because let me tell you what, blood is not strong enough for me to endure verbal abuse, you know? It's ridiculous. Yes, that's the narcissistic abuser. They are usually a whole different person. It's weird to really kind of be like, wow, my mom is a narcissistic abuser. Like, isn't it strange as a child with abusive parents that you'll try to, like, because a child that has to embrace that their parents are abusive in some way is now a child that doesn't have a home. And so your survival kicks in. You have to, like, justify. And by justifying, then usually you blame yourself. You, like, say something's wrong with me or the way that I act or how I am. When in reality, my son is a Gemini, and sometimes he is just a little shit. And I just have never felt that I could just scream at him for doing nothing. Interestingly, my ex-husband was also a narcissistic abuser, and my son deals with that abuse from his father. So I just want to get out of here. I want to get my son out of his household that he's in. It's interesting also to be in the same predicament that he's in and just get into a safe place for us both. And I'm just hoping a job comes through, or, you know, I have some financial abundance that will come through soon to allow that to happen. So, oh gosh, it's hard. Oh, everybody who's saying I'm gonna get it, it's gonna be a beautiful home. It's true. Like, you can see it, right? You can see me in that new space, and I'll be like surviving on my music and reading cards. That's really powerful, Lindsay. My kids shut off if I get loud, so they taught me to be calm, to be heard. And that's kind of interesting because I have learned, like, my reaction was to kind of get loud back over the years. And this past, 6 months I've been home, I've been learning, like, that's inappropriate. It's inappropriate for her to ever act like that, to have those outbursts, to act honestly crazy. It's not appropriate to respond that way. And so I've learned, like, that was what was making tonight so pointed, is because there was basically, the disagreement went as such. She was going to make this, I bought this new pasta that is made from hearts of palm from Trader Joe's, and the box says to use a saucepan. And I'm a chef. Like, I have cooked for years, and I'm a firm believer that when you make something the first time, you just follow the instructions as it says, so that, because those are the instructions for a reason. Like, that's just how my brain works. Like, I try it the first time, see how it turns out, and maybe the next time I'll try something different, but obviously I want to experience it the way that it was meant to be prepared or whatever. And so it said to use a saucepan to heat it up. And she was like, well, I think I'll use a frying pan. And I was just like, well, why wouldn't you just use a saucepan? Because that's what it says. And then, she's like, well, I think I can spread it out more in a frying pan. And I was like, well, but it might heat up too fast. Like, it's maybe not supposed to be that way. I don't know. I've never made it before. So that's literally what the discussion was. And that was some kind of a trigger. And she was just like, you're being ridiculous. So she starts yelling and screaming and slamming things. And I'm just like, of the two of us right now, the way that you're reacting is what I would say ridiculous behavior. And I was saying it like in a calm way. I was like, there's no need for you to raise your voice or to throw things or to be angry. And then she was like, well, you're being ridiculous. And then it turned into, shut your fucking mouth to me. So I was like, you know what? How about I prepare my own food and take it elsewhere, because I don't really want to participate in this meal with you at this point. And then, you know, she stormed off, did her own thing, and I went and ate some leftovers and then went to the store and just tried to calm down. But the really upsetting part is that my dad's reaction to any disagreements in the home is to always yell from the other room, stop saying that, shut up, both of you. Like, that's his reaction. And in that situation, I felt the injustice of how, as a child, my father, who was experiencing this person abusing me, should have removed me from the situation and told my mother that her behavior was inappropriate and that he wouldn't tolerate it. And so after we had this thing with my mother, I went into the living room where my dad was, and he was like in a different room, and I said, you know, in the situation that I was just in, I was not raising my voice. I was not doing anything to warrant that behavior. So for you to come in and berate me was just really inappropriate. He's like, well, I'm not taking sides. And I was like, not taking sides against an abuser is abusive. Do you know that? That's an abusive behavior also. And he was just like, well, I can't win. And I was like, well, you're certainly not going to earn my respect. That's definitely certain. And I know that for him it comes from his self-esteem, and, you know, he doesn't really stand up for himself, and he's just been tolerating that abuse for years. So it was just a moment. I came upstairs and I reflected on the whole incident, and I was like, I'm 41. I can protect myself at 41. I can logically make conclusions about what's going on. It still hurts, but I have an adult's mind, and I have healed my wounds, and I have learned about abuse, and I know how to protect myself. But I'm crying because when I was 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, 16, I didn't have that kind of protection, and it makes me sad that a lot of the things that are wrong in my life as an adult come from feeling unsupported, unsafe. You know, like, why do I have financial insecurity? Why do I have insecurity in relationships? Because when you're abused, and it doesn't matter if you're hit or screamed at, which, you know, both things usually occur, you just never feel safe. You never feel safe. And I am safe now. I can get in my car, I can drive away, to a certain extent, but I was literally sitting on my bed thinking, I don't have enough money to leave. I don't really know who I would go and stay with. You know, a lot of the same feelings I had when I was trapped in my abusive marriage kind of started to come back. And I know that, like, the full moon is in Cancer, and it's really when a lot of old wounds come up, and you have to sort of face them and, like, release the emotions that come with it. But just recognizing how unsafe it was to live in this household, and how it's still, to a certain extent, not a safe emotional space to be. It's just really enlightening. So tonight, when you know, when I write that letter to myself, like, to forgive myself, I'm gonna forgive myself for, you know, choosing to come back to an abusive environment because I felt like I couldn't take care of myself. Like, there's things that I definitely am going to put into that letter tonight that are directly reflective of the incident that just happened. But yeah, very, very, very enlightening. Hi Sarah, so the only way that I do cards for people is if they subscribe to my channel. So if you subscribe, which is $5.99 a month, I read cards for any question you might have. I usually pull 2 cards anytime that I go live, as long as you have a badge, like how Lindsay has the PRYR badge there. That's indicating that she's one of my prayers, and I read for my prayers. Otherwise, you can book a personal reading for $33 at the link in my profile. You just send through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, and I will do a reading for you with 2 decks and a couple of oracles. So that's my options for readings. You can also check out all of my free content on TuneIn Tarot YouTube as well. But let's start the collective reading. So, what do we need to know tonight? I got the orphaned card. I'm not really surprised about that. And then I have a fork in the road, which was in reverse. So the orphaned card is about belonging, a sense of belonging. And we'll look at them both here from the Wisdom of the Oracle. It's a number 5, so it's giving me 5 of Pentacles vibes, like being abandoned or rejected, being left out in the cold, kind of a feeling. And then fork in the road in reverse. I haven't gotten that card before, so I'm excited to look at that one. But let's just look at orphaned first and see what it has to say. So a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, and uncertainty about your place. We are all meant to have connections with other people within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. Okay. The relationship message is, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. Okay, the prosperity message is, this card reminds you that you can't be all things to all people. You are not going to be popular with everyone, and that has to be okay with you. Be clear about your mission, your brand, your work persona, and your contribution to the world, as these must be based on what you authentically have to offer, not something you think will sell or you perceive they may want. You will attract abundance by being completely yourself. Stay in your own lane. That's where you will shine and where you will experience prosperity. Oh yes, the writing a letter to yourself. That's cool. We're actually gonna do that as a group tonight. We're all gonna write a letter, or whoever wants to do it. I'm gonna do it live with you, and we're just gonna write a letter that will basically burn with the full moon to release the energy. I'm actually gonna cleanse, and I'm gonna put just because I just had that negative experience, I want to put a little incense on. I forgot that I have some right behind me, so let me go light that. Okay. All right, and then this card, Fork in the Road, was the second card that came up. It's number 13. Time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. I feel like these cards are definitely for me if you saw what came up or what I was talking about prior to pulling these cards, because it says you've come as far as you can on this part of your journey, and now you're faced with a choice. Inherent in this choice is the need for change, for evolution, and for a bettering of your circumstances. Narrow it down to just a single question. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life of prosperity? Answer honestly and from the heart. Then the decision about which way to go will be effortless. Know that abundance is all around you. Choose to see it, and it will be easier to settle on a direction. For the way will be made clear by your intuition, which knows how to steer you toward your well-being. Indecision is extremely frustrating and will lead to anxiety, loss, and confusion. At this juncture, you can't remain in place without losing your way altogether. Avoid the tendency to let others choose for you, which amounts to a settled refusal to take responsibility. Don't give your power away, not even to this oracle. By not making a choice, you are making a choice for which you must be accountable. If that choice leads to undesirable circumstances, take heart. Spirit never tires of giving you second chances. You can always start again once you've learned this valuable lesson. Okay, so if you're feeling left out, if you're feeling like, this relationship that you have been seeking is just not giving you anything. If you feel that, you've kind of been waiting for something, like the something's got to give type of situation. If you've been longing for support but disappointed by not getting what you deserve, you have to take that accountability and make some kind of a choice or a decision to stop accepting certain circumstances. And wow, guess we know that next week's gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy packing next week, and I am. I'm just gonna pack. I know packing is just gonna be, it's just gonna start to shift everything. And I know, because when I was in my apartment in Los Angeles, I started packing before I knew where I was gonna go or what I was gonna do. And I actually gave notice on my lease and was like, I'm leaving, and didn't know exactly if it was going to work out or not, and kind of forced the hand of the universe to finally open up my ability to go, and it worked. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, let's take a look now. Ooh, I'm feeling I don't want to use this deck again, but I'm going to put it back together because I'll probably use it for personal readings afterwards. But for the actual reading right now, I think I want to use Mystic Mondays, which I haven't used in so long. I used to use this one all the time. It's an oldie but a goodie. All right, let's take a look. Yes, start the shift as it's happening. It's a great way to look at it. Okay, what is the advice tonight from those two cards of Orphaned and Fork in the Road? So we don't like where we are. We're feeling like really not supported. Not, in terms of a person, they're not showing up. We have to make a choice. What's going on with this? Let's just look at what's going on. Wow, okay. So the first card that came up is the Two of Wands, which of course we associate with twin flame journey. We associate it with asking for something, and you are going to receive what you've asked for. But it's a journey, right, to get to the destination. And there's a feeling of restlessness that comes, like we've asked already, like I've asked already for the change. Where is it? Where's the inspired action that I need to take? Interestingly enough, I was gonna go live at 6 o'clock, and I decided after the incident with my mom, I came upstairs and just kind of sitting on my bed, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know who to call, if I should call somebody and talk to somebody. I felt like I didn't know exactly how to handle the situation. But tomorrow is the event. that starts at 11 a.m. And I wanted to buy a couple of ingredients, and I also wanted to pick up a couple of magazines that I could use for the vision boarding. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do my live a little bit later, and I will just go to the store now. And so I went to the store, and I was looking at that point for magazines, and then all of a sudden I hear somebody say my name, and I like turn around, I'm like, oh, hi, and it was somebody I graduated with in high school. And I didn't realize, I think I did know she was here, but it wasn't somebody that like we were super close or anything that I would have like reached out to. But I've been home for almost 6 months, and it's been really challenging in terms of like there's not a lot of people around to go talk to or anything. And so I was so relieved to see her, because I was feeling like, oh wow, maybe if she wanted to get together, it would just get me out of my parents' house, and just because the more I'm out of here, the less I'm under, influenced by that energy that's here. And then she had her daughter with her, so she introduced me to her daughter, and then she was asking me what I was doing now, and I said, I do music still, because I've done that since high school, and I'm a TikTok tarot reader. And her daughter's eyes like got really big, and she looked at me in surprise, and my friend says to me, oh my god, I just bought my daughter her first tarot deck. Like, and it was just like a weird, that's not something that's really common in my small town, so it was obviously a weird synchronistic thing. And I was like, wow. And so we made sure that we had each other's phone number, and I just walked out of there thinking like I would not have gone at that time. I probably was going to go early in the morning tomorrow, and it just was a completely synchronistic event. And hi everybody that's popping in. And it was just like an impulsive action. So definitely following those impulses along the way. If you're feeling restless, it's usually because you may be ignoring some kind of an impulse that you need to follow through with, whether it's messaging somebody or just going somewhere. But you've asked for something and you're waiting for it, and there's a restlessness, and you're not quite sure how to get to this end point on this destination. And this is also, with that fork in the road coming out as a point of indecision, this is also about having to make some kind of a choice or a decision. And then we're seeing this current energy of the Three of Swords. So painful separation, heartbreak, a feeling of, it's falling off here, a feeling of realizing a painful truth about your inability to make a decision. That Two of Swords that's embedded in the Three of Swords, the truth is the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Swords is the avoidance. So you've been waiting for something to happen, and because you're waiting for it to happen, you're avoiding making a choice. You want security, you want safety before you just go do this thing. Like tonight, when I felt like I just want to go, but I have just enough money in my account to be able to pay my car payment and my insurance, if that. I'm gonna have to have a place to stay once I get to Massachusetts. I don't want to be homeless again, so I don't want to have to sleep in my car or something like that. So I had a lot of fear. So rather than make the choice, I'm just waiting for some more security. So I know that that's very similar, and this might be true in regards to a relationship for you. It may seem safer, even though you're restless, to just avoid choosing to go in a new direction, because you want some kind of a security that if you go in the new direction, that you made the right choice, that the person that you're waiting on isn't somehow your soulmate that you're supposed to be with, or that there is going to be someone else. Like, if you choose to go in a new direction, that there will be somebody that's as good or better than the person that you've been waiting on. So it's the same kind of an energy. It's like, I have to have security before I leave. The problem is, I can tell in my own situation that staying in my home that I'm in right now is actively suppressing my abundance. It's diminishing my self-esteem. It's it's allowing myself to experience harm, right? That I don't need to experience. So I'm actually hurting myself by staying and waiting for security than I would be if I just got in the car. Because what's going to happen when I get in the car? When I get in the car with my stuff packed and my dog in the front seat with me, and I go to read live, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm looking for a place to live. I don't have a place to live. If anybody knows a place here where I can stay, or if you can book readings so I can pay for a hotel tonight, I will be able to survive. Like I drove across the whole entire country in 6 days with almost no money in my account and made it. And it was because, and I just kept believing that I would, and I just kept showing up and doing readings in the morning and at night after driving for 10 hours, just believing I was going to make it and I was going to get enough in my account for another hotel room and it was going to work out. So the security comes from knowing you can do it and believing and trusting and having faith that you're going to be supported and provided for. And that's where we end up here. We had 2 cards come out. We have the 5 of Swords, which is mental conflict. It's wanting to give up, just wanting to surrender, like not being able to take it anymore. And this Fool card, which is about taking the leap, just going after, just doing it, just knowing you are going to be supported. You are. You always have been. You always will be. And support doesn't always necessarily look exactly like you expected it to, but it is there. It's always there. And even like the synchronicity of going to the grocery store today and running into somebody that I literally could have run in into every single time I've gone there for the last 6 months, because it is a small town and there's only one grocery store. And just having that moment of being like, if you go, like if you leave, you're going to run into the right person at the right time. So it's okay for you to go. It is okay for you to start on a new journey. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be here for the event, and there are still tickets available, and you can get them basically until right before the event tomorrow, because at a certain point I won't be able to send you the packet because I'll be actively involved in the event. But I would highly recommend purchasing it tonight so you can look over everything. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a small group of people. We're all going to be supporting each other for tomorrow. And it's about envisioning our lives. And so I'm going to use the motivation that I've been feeling coming from the 30-day challenge, as well as the spark that you get when you do like an event like that. And then on Monday, my work is going to be to start packing because I need to get ready to leave. And I'm just going to surrender and take that leap and trust that I'm going to be led exactly where I need to go. And I recommend you do the same in regards to wherever you are avoiding making a decision, wherever you're stuck, because you're only hurting yourself right now by staying in this same place, feeling restless and not doing anything about it, because you fear the outcome, because you can't see where the road leads. Like, I don't know where the road leads, but I do know that I'm going to live with my son. That's why I drove all the way back to the East Coast. If I wasn't going to live with him, I would have stayed in Los Angeles in my apartment that I had there. You know, I would have been dealing with trying to get a nicer apartment in Los Angeles, which would have been a hell of a lot easier to do than what I'm trying to do right now. So I have to just remember what my primary motivation was and how good it's going to feel to end up being able to live with my son in Massachusetts. And for those of you that can't make it to the event tomorrow, I'm seeing Carissa's comment here. It is going to be for sale as a self-guided virtual tour that you can do with yourself or your friends. You could get a couple of people to do it together. So after the event is over, assuming that I can record everything and it goes well, I will set up a web page so that you can access the whole thing and take advantage of all of the different sessions that we're going to do also. So if you can't make it tomorrow, no worries. You will have a chance to, hopefully, assuming that the recording goes well, you will still have a chance to go ahead and do the retreat on your own, and maybe you can, lead your own group to do it, which would be kind of cool. yeah, it's that was my goal initially, was that we would do a live event, but then be able to offer it at a reduced rate for those of you that are not able to afford the $100 for the whole day. So I still do intend to have it available after. I just have to figure out exactly how to like give it to people. I think it's probably going to be easiest to set up a web page. So I will look at doing that. Okay, so that was the collective reading for tonight. Super applicable to me. I don't know about you. And if anybody would like a personal reading, it is $33. You can click the link in my profile. There is Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App there. And go ahead and send your payment, and then I will start your personal reading. If you are a subscriber with a prayer badge, you may ask a question, and I will pull 2 cards for you tonight. I think I'm going to do 1 oracle and 1 tarot tonight, because that's what I'm feeling. Sorry. I've been very tired today. I got up, I went downstairs, fed my dog, I took her outside, fed her, and then came back upstairs and laid down because I was just so drained. And I'm guessing it's probably the full moon energy. Every once in a while I'll get hit really hard by them. I also think that my person is probably getting hit by it too, and sometimes I think I just get like residual energy from him, which is kind of annoying. And I'm seeing Lindsay say you're gonna do the personal reading. I knew you were planning to do it tonight. Thank you so much, Vicky. I appreciate that. So any of my subscribers, could have been Weirdo Ken's. It could have been. The full moon it affects me differently almost every time. I never react the same way, but I always realize within the 24 hours of it that I've had some kind of a reaction to it. Hey Lindsay, I got your payment. Do you have a specific question for your reading? And thank you so much for booking a personal reading. I'm just looking at which cards I want to use. These 2. Trust my guys, let me know what I need. Okay. My gosh, if you don't know about Luna's, the Crafty Country Witch, or Lady Luna's room sprays that she sells, run, don't walk, and get some. This one, it's October Winds by my bed, called Love Spell. And I haven't tried the other one yet. It's called Bahama Mama. I'm sure that one smells like summer. I can't wait to try that one. I love her stuff. She also sent me room melts too. Okay. Let me get your oracles. Oops. I don't know why I put that deck all the way over there, but I did. All right, behave. Oh, behave. Okay, and then these cards are just like me. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we have for you, top of the deck, overall headspace, that Two of Wands. Thanks, Carissa. I appreciate that, sweetie. Thank you so much. We have the Two of Wands, which we just saw in the other reading I just did. And we have the Ten of Swords. So, the Two of Wands, again, it can be, it's often associated with a soulmate card or twin flame or whatever. But it is a restless energy. And it's usually about asking for something and having to wait. And there's no planning or strategizing you can do. You just literally have to open up and allow it to happen. And I trust my guys, you are going to be great. You have grown and can handle this until you move next week out of the adults. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then we have the Ten of Swords here, which is this energy of, it can be a painful betrayal, painful separation, and being stuck in a mindset, but it's the completion energy of that, right? It's the 10th card. So it's ending. It's not going to stay that way forever. And you're kind of restless because I think you know that this separation or the pain from the separation or the way you're thinking about the situation isn't going to last forever, but there's just this restless feeling about it. It's just, it's maybe even more painful to know that it's going to be over, but it still isn't over. And it's noticing that it still isn't over that is kind of making it even worse to a certain extent. So that's just overall where you are right now in your head and your heart, which is not the most comfortable place. So hopefully we can get some guidance for you. Now, underlying all your thoughts and decisions, you're like, should I just go? This is the Eight of Cups energy. Look at, she's moving. Should I just leave? And the Knight of Wands, who's very impulsive and just spontaneous, grabs anything available and just gets out of there, right? Or goes into it, depending on what the situation is. There's a wild feeling in your heart, like a feeling of just like wanting to kind of throw caution to the wind and just pick up and move on and just not stick around and wait anymore and feel sad and nostalgic. And it's like a fiery burning feeling of like, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here, I cannot stand this anymore, I cannot stand it anymore. There's definitely that feeling, and boy do I feel that definitely resonates with me too. So why is it feeling this way? Because what you've been really struggling with is this divine timing card of the Wheel of Fortune combined with the High Priestess in reverse. If the High Priestess is in reverse, then we're not trusting. We're not trusting in the divine timing or the divine plan. We're not trusting in our good fortune or abundance. We're not trusting in the ability for things to change. And so no wonder it feels like really like, I just gotta get out of here, because it's like you can't trust anything about the situation. And you know you have to change. You have this intuition, that feeling, that burning desire to just get out of there. And you don't know if you can trust that feeling. You don't know, is that just the runner-chaser dynamic? Is that just, me, making an impulsive decision or choice instead of being more logical, more analytical, or just having more faith? There's definitely this energy of seeing all of your affirmations. You're like, that's me for sure. In the current... Hey there, sorry about that. My son just called and I just had to tell him that I'll call him back, so I apologize for that. But what I was saying is that you are in this current energy right now. Hello. You're feeling this, I want to say lovesick, because this is the Page of Cups. It's like that teenage, innocent, emotionally underdeveloped, like, just kind of naive sort of thing, like wanting some kind of a new, fresh offer to come in. And then this feeling right here of the Hanged Man energy of being in suspense, waiting for it to happen. And kind of gaining perspective that you maybe have been naive, because once you flip around and start to look at the situation, you're seeing it from this other angle, and you're kind of like, I think I'm being a little bit immature here. Now, the immaturity can be about that impulsivity, about just wanting to go because it's hard to wait, and really wanting to be more mindful that, you know, you should, I want to say stick it out, like, but again, you're because you're not able to trust in this divine timing. So there's this feeling of like, am I just being emotionally underdeveloped here? Do I need more emotional mastery before I make a choice like that? And you're kind of taking a pause to get a sense of where you're at right now, which is really good. It's actually really mature to do that. The outcome that I see here is the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups, and the feeling in the heart space is the Nine of Swords. So if we just saw these cards, we could call it a day. It's like, well, all you have to do is hold your vision, be very confident, you know, acknowledge the strength you have in your ability to withstand that test of time, and just hold this vision of this coming together, these Two of Cups, and believe in your vision. Believe that it's possible, that you can have it. But that niggling feeling is that Nine of Swords, which, remember, leads us to the Ten of Swords. This is what gets us to the Ten of Swords. We can't get here if we're not having these, if we're not having this anxiety and this fear, which is all just our mind. And that's the thing about these two cards. You're not actually stuck. It's just an illusion that you are. It's because you fear that you won't be able to have what you desire, and then that causes you to stay stagnant instead of trying to make that move or take that action. So I think the biggest clue to us in this whole reading is this High Priestess in reverse. If we could get this High Priestess card upright, trusting your deep knowing, which came up for the collective today in the message, then this Nine of Swords would go away. Because when you trust yourself, then your mind tells tales and spins tales. You're not so interested. You know who you are. This is your headspace. So you know who you are. You know your worth, your value, your power, your creativity, your gifts, your ability to have what it is that you desire. It's just that you don't trust it. And that's causing you to have this anxiety. So I would say that the thing that you need to really work on the most right now is really trusting who you are, trusting in your power. Not, it could be to withstand waiting, that you are absolutely able to work on your own passions and your own desires to do what it is that you love. And then while you're caught up in that, this relationship you're seeking will be sort of a side effect of having taken care of yourself. Or it can be that if you choose to go in a new direction, then you will see new love come in, some kind of a new offer come in. That's much more reflective of who you are. What's really interesting is your oracle. You got watch and wait, which is the thing that you're really uncomfortable doing at this moment. So let's take a look at what this says. And this is kind of a thing that's like, don't get caught up in the drama, but I just want to look at it and read it for you and see if there's anything in there that we should add. Hovering gracefully, which I would say you're doing, okay, in that Hanged Man energy, because we also got this feminine, and she's, you know, I always watch these people when they do that on like TikTok, when they have those accounts where they do, I don't know what that's called, but it's so cool. I always watch it. But so hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from Seahorse spirit is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even if you are tempted to jump into the fray and try to fix things, The best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is that whatever your query, Seahorse Spirit asks you to step back from it. Be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why. And you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom. That is sound advice coming today from Spirit Animal. Colette Baron Reed never fails me. And let's just get one more piece of advice from her deck. The Wisdom of the Oracle. We have the Community card. And it's coming out in reverse with a protection message. There's also number 8, which is also reminding me of the 8 of Cups. But it's in the reverse here. So let's see what this is saying as your protection message. Beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is a time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall. Be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. And look at that. Don't be afraid. This for me addresses these cards. Don't be afraid, right? Kind of afraid to be who you are. Even this card, this relationship was covering up who you really are. And so to a certain extent, maybe the time you're expending thinking about this relationship, worrying about it, it's what allows you to hide who you truly are. Your most authentic self. It's kind of your excuse to not really let your light shine. And that's a very profound message. So my opinion on your situation after looking over these cards is that you should not impulsively run. You should not just, give up, run away, just look for something new, try for something new. You should stick on your current journey. Trust in this soulmate energy coming forward. Don't worry so much about the identity of the person. Just really trust in the divine timing here. Understand that the focus on this relationship is the only thing that's kind of stalling you out. Because once you really put that full focus on yourself and what you want to create in the world, what you want to make in the world, brew in the background. That's kind of what I've been doing. It's just like, okay, whatever, it's there. It's marinating. And I'm going to do the 30-day challenge, right? Because you know about that, following your passions for 30 days, no matter what they are. And I will say that for today, I didn't really feel like doing it. And so today was the most powerful day. Because when you don't feel like doing it and you do it anyway, is when you really show the commitment that you have to it. And I didn't make myself work on the song. I just went and I decided to look up something about monetizing the song I've already made. And that was showing myself I'm going to keep every day furthering myself to get into a situation where my music becomes abundant. It absolutely has the ability to do so. And I'm going to do that. So I would suggest doing something like that too for yourself. Challenging yourself to show up, to believe in your vision, to be able to create what you want, and don't hide behind this desire for this relationship. See, I've been focusing more on me and it has made me so happy. So keep doing that. That's because happy is the only way you get to be happy. People think, oh, when I'm in a relationship, I'll be happy. No. When you're happy, you'll be in a relationship that makes you is a reflection of your happiness, right? It's not the other way around. So whenever we're stuck in that mindset of I just need this to work out so I can be happy, it's a red flag. It's really what's stalling out from the relationship happening. As soon as I think that card doesn't apply to me, you totally tie it in and make it make sense. Good, I'm glad. I have done my job. I'm so glad that was helpful. So the reading that Lindsay just got was a $33 reading. If you'd like your own version of that, you can send $33 to the link in my profile, there is a Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App option. And I appreciate all the support coming through. I have had very low sales over the last few weeks, and I'm hoping to turn that around. So everybody who books a reading tonight, you are helping me to believe in my power to support myself doing something I really love, which is really cool. Because now my mindset is, look, universe, if I'm doing this 30-day challenge and I'm doing music at the same time, that means that the work that I'm doing needs to be abundant, because this is the work I like to do. I don't want to have to go do a job as an administrative manager or something that doesn't really resonate with me just so I can have money. Like, the whole reason I'm here is because you told me I could be. So prove it. Prove it. My gods need to come through. Also, I decided as a pagan, thank you, Mackenzie. Look at that. She's helping me out. I decided as a pagan that I'm not going to say, oh my God, anymore. I'm going to say, oh my gods. And I love that for me. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. Let's start. Do you have a specific question for me tonight? I'm going to switch up the decks here to change the energy a little bit. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Divine. I'm sorry. The Tarot of Mystical Moments and the Uncommon Tarot are the ones I'm going to use. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that vote of confidence. Yes, the new place. It's going to be a perfect size little house. It's going to be like Goldilocks, you know? Like how the last thing she tried was perfect. Well, that's what it's going to be like. Perfect size. Not too big, not too small. Just enough natural light. Just the right temperature. Just the right sized yard. It's gonna be. I know it's gonna be like that. Just right. Yep. In a just right location. And I always picture my son coming home. I picture him borrowing my car, which is, you know, it's like a weird feeling of being like, I can't believe he's old enough to drive my car. I picture him taking my car and going somewhere and coming home. I picture the way that Bowie will be excited when he gets home and go to greet him. And him telling me, like, what he did, what he went and did. And I can't wait for that. I want to live with him so much. Hi, Luna. Love you so much. I was just promoting your October Winds because it smells so good. The Crafty Country Witch that's right there. Go follow her. Go to her shop. And buy yourself this today. It smells so good. I sprayed it in my brother's room and he was like, wait, what the hell? He's 23. And he was like, what the hell? That smells just like October. And I was like, I know, it's so good. What I need to hear from the universe. All right, Mackenzie, let's check it out. What do I need to hear from the universe? What does Mackenzie need to hear, rather? This is one of my favorite decks. I saw someone using this gorgeous deck today. It's like, oh, what's her name? It's like Angeli something. I don't know. She's a good reader. And she had this gorgeous deck. Absolutely gorgeous. Interesting. It's like our head space has been okay and our heart space has had a lot of fear in it lately when I do these readings. All right, let me get your oracles. Oh my gosh. The synchronicities are so frequent lately. Oh my god. I'm knocking everything over. Calm down. All right now. Stay up. I see my ghosties behaving behind me. I was turning my lights off before. Ooh, I like this card that just came out. Okay, so top of the deck, overall headspace for you. We have the Magician. And in the heart space, we have the Five of Wands. So the Magician is an energy of magic, but it's about, we often talk about co-creation with the Magician card, which is that, you know, we wish for something and we call on our higher self or higher power, whatever it is, to help us bring it into the physical. It can also be about illusions. It can be about manipulation too, trying to manipulate energy or make it do what you want it to do, manifestation, all those things, and also being gifted, spiritually gifted. Then the Five of Wands. This is competition, struggle, feeling blocked in some way. So I get a sense from this energy that there is this feeling in your heart that what you're trying to create is blocked. You're not seeing it happen. It's like you have all the tools, you've asked for it to happen, and yet there's something blocking it, keeping it from coming through. Now, this will often appear to be an external struggle, but it's actually an internal struggle. So there may seem to be an actual block outside of self, but all that is a point of reference for you to kind of look within and see where you're struggling to open up and embrace something, allow something to happen. We see so much content about making stuff happen, manifesting things, so much content about that. It's almost exhausting how much we see. And so we're constantly in this energy of making things happen, right? Like, which is a masculine energy, I might add. The energy of, okay, I'm going to do the whisper method. I'm going to write this down and burn it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this, try that. And what you're doing when you're in that mindset is you're constantly activating the lack of something by focusing on getting it. What we need to do is open up to the feminine energy of allowing something to happen once we've asked for it. It's like if you ask for, it would be like if you planted a seed and then started shouting at it to grow. So you can shout yourself blue in the face. Like, as long as you've watered it and put some nutrients in the soil and give it the right amount of light, the only thing you have to do now is just allow it to grow. And it will. It will grow, assuming that the seed and the soil is healthy and all the conditions are good. It will grow. So when you're at a point where you're trying to make something grow and it's not happening, check the conditions. Check the soil. Are there enough nutrients in the soil? Check do I need more hydration? Do I need to be in the light more? So think about your manifestations as something that are growing and they need the best conditions to grow in. This gives you an activity that you can do so that you still feel like you're doing something, but it's not an activity that's going to block the thing from happening because you're not focused on how it's not there yet. You're focused on how you're preparing for it to be there, on how you're creating the best possible environment for your new seed to survive as a sapling, right? Underlying all your thoughts and decisions, we have the King of Wands. And it is the female King of Wands. This deck actually has male and female kings, and this is the female King of Wands. And the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups can be about union, reuniting, celebrating, having a good time, having fun. And I'm getting Magician vibes from this King of Wands energy because the King of Wands makes stuff happen, right? Like he literally takes action. He makes things come together. So the female King of Wands for me is somebody that's utilizing their emotions to create something. and they're bold and they're confident. And then the Three of Cups is about like really having a good time doing it. So I think to a certain extent, you enjoy the process of creating the life that you want. You enjoy bringing emotion, like doing the emotional work to like make it happen. Like it actually does feel good and isn't a bad thing. So it kind of is confusing because you're like, why is this union energy being blocked? If I'm actually really enjoying the process of learning how to create something, and there's a bit of confusion there. So let's go deeper into your reading to see what's going on. I really like that underlying energy though. The only thing I might say is maybe you're pushing a little too hard in your masculine energy. And we talked about needing to open and allow the feminine energy to be more allowing, instead of the one that has to be doing, just allowing. So that might be something that is coming up there. What have you been thinking about and feeling? Here's the Six of Wands. This is the card of success and victory. It's the card about the masculine coming back with an offer of peace to the feminine energy. So, you know, like your actual taking action and bringing peace to yourself. And then that's being blocked because definitely we have this internal struggle block thing by the Ten of Swords, which is what? Mental, because the swords are thoughts. Mental fixation, being stuck on either the painful separation, if that's what's going on, or just the feeling of being stuck. Your mind is like, I will overcome this, and your heart is like, but I feel that I'm stuck. I want peace and I want victory and I want success, but I feel like there is something that's keeping me from experiencing that. So that makes sense because that your overall energy, that sort of aligns with your overall energy. So that's the struggle. The internal struggle is, I know I'm capable. I know that I can have success here. I know that I can be at peace. But I can't stop thinking about how I'm not. And that is really pushing it away. And I kind of know that. I feel that. Your current energy, we have another female king, which is very telling to me. So you have definitely achieved the ability to bring action to your emotions. You've achieved the ability to balance masculine and feminine energy within you so that you can take on the role of the masculine energy. But it may be making you feel like you have to do everything and you're all on your own. This is the Five of Pentacles. You're trying very hard. And that's, whenever we're trying very hard, we usually get a sense of disappointment, right? Like we're trying too hard to do something, where we need to like let it happen is definitely a message that's kind of coming through for me. Like, let it happen. But you're also really skilled. You're able to take your wishes and weave them into the fabric of your being. And that you have strategy, like you have the right ideas about things, and you like know how to do this. You know how to overcome. Both of these cards are cards of separation, by the way. So you know how to do it. Remember, the Magician has all the tools. The only thing I'm seeing here that is maybe causing an issue is that there is not a balance. It's like you're taking on all of the giving. You're taking on all of the action, the masculine energy. Maybe you're the one communicating directly. Maybe you're the one trying to like put all the pieces into place. But what you're wanting is an equal partnership. You're wanting somebody who's going to do that work with you too. So then you have to surrender your role. And this isn't about gender roles. Please don't ever misunderstand me when you're listening to my readings. I am never talking about masculine and feminine gender. I'm talking about the energy in which you create things in your life, in which you interact with others. At some point, you have to relinquish some of the control and allow. That's definitely keeps coming through very strong. The good news is where you're heading is to this Justice card, which is balance, okay? So no longer like kind of realizing, oh, I've been trying to make all this happen, and I'm wanting to call in somebody who's going to participate in making some of this happen. So if I want to see that happen, I need to be more balanced. I need to be in my feminine energy. This is the Empress. There's no one more in the feminine energy than the Empress herself. And she absolutely allows things to happen. She allows the abundance. I have cold chills because I definitely have had messages about this all day. She allows the abundance to happen. When I did the 30-day challenge today for day 5, by the way, which you have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles and then the 10 of Swords, which is 2 5s together. I pulled the Yin card in reverse. The Yin card is the divine feminine, being too much in the energy of giving and doing and needing to allow and step back. So that's just a huge message for you today. Allow yourself to be in the feminine energy. And what does it look like? It's different for everybody how we express that energy, but ultimately it's the energy of receptivity. So being receptive to help, abundance, new ideas, like just allowing them to come in, not having to do anything. It's the energy of nurturing and self-care, of emotional comfort, like being comfortable in with your emotions. It's definitely there's like a gentle flowing energy to it. All right, and your oracles, spider spirit, a divine feminine, actually spirit animal is spider spirit, and it says make your dreams real, which I'm so drawn to this card. It's really making me feel that King of Swords, the female King of Swords, is coming through. Okay, this is 56. Another 5. And a 6. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life. Oh my God, thank you so much for the hand heart stuff. I love this. Literally, I said this is somebody, you can take your dreams and weave them. I literally said that to you. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then spirit joins you as your co-weaving partner, which is what I was also going to hold this card up because of the stars, and it made me think of this. So I love this. This is like your reading all coming together. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and spirit will take 10 toward you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. The action you need to take is to be clear about your intentions and then act as if you have become the one that lives the life you desire. The web of creation has an uncanny way of coming together to weave the beautiful pattern you set in motion. This is akin to me packing my bags next week, knowing that it's time for me to go, and just trusting that that place that I'm going to go to is going to present itself very soon. Another message of Spider Spirit is about any creative project you may be considering: writing, painting, music, journaling, gardening, etc. Now is the time when inspiration wants to be channeled through you as something creative, which is the other aspect I didn't even mention about the Empress. She is the creatrix, right? She is the one who is creative within us. Creative, even artistic and tangible. Creative projects are successful now if you are so inclined. Let yourself be open to abundance. Wow. One of the reasons I read those cards at the end of the reading is because they almost always tie everything I said together with a nice little bow, which is like confirmation for me as a reader. And then finally we have the never-ending story. You've been seeing spiders lately. Spiders are also a sign of patience, because spiders build the web and then they have patience that what they need, they allow it to come to the web, right? They build it and they trust there's going to be something that's going to be caught up in my web. Like, it's going to work, right? You're wanting to switch jobs, but I am nervous and scared. Today I finally applied to jobs. Good. Absolutely switch jobs. I'm 100% a supporter of that. And I think you probably want to have some clarity about where you want to go, and then allow that to come to you. Allow yourself to receive the inspired actions that will take you where you need to go. There's a difference between waiting for something to happen and waiting for inspired action. Thank you so much. I love that one. Okay, so self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas comes from this never-ending story card. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life. What the hell? This is a different book. I can't right now. That tells of hurt and loss and rejection. I can't believe this. And humiliation, self-loathing, and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. This is just an incredible reading. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of that is actually true. I have chills all over. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. That's so beautiful. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Ooh, I'm going to include that in my letter of forgiveness tonight. Forgive myself for telling myself the old stories and believing them. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. Fear, envy, procrastination, greed, and the perception of victimhood could all be active in your life at this moment. Are you comparing yourself with others, which that can also come from that Five of Wands? Comparing yourself with others, thinking their success should be yours? Maybe you're afraid of all the good that is coming your way, so you step out of your lane, totally aware of what you're doing, but seemingly powerless to stop yourself? Are you back where you started, or in a situation that reminds you of past failures? Financial insecurities scaring you? You must learn to love yourself through missteps and sabotaging moments. Use criticism constructively right now. Better yet, stop telling this story altogether. Make up a new one. The universe loves you deeply and will wait for you to figure that out. Tell a new story, and success is all but guaranteed. You can do it. Wow. Holy shit. That was an awesome message. Thank you for booking that reading tonight, Mackenzie, because I feel, first of all, I can relate to this reading as well. And second of all, it's so fun when it's just like all of those pieces come together in a reading like that. Just wow. All right. So if there's anyone else who would like a personal reading, you can send $33 to Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App at the link in my profile. Also, if you are already a subscriber, now is the time to go ahead and ask for your 2 cards if you would like to have 2 cards read tonight. If you want 2 cards read, you can also become a subscriber to the channel, and I will pull 2 cards for you. I am going to do an oracle and a tarot card tonight so that you all can get an oracle this evening. And then when that's done, we will write our letter that we will burn for the full moon release if you are interested in doing that. I will be posting this later as a replay on YouTube. If you missed the initial reading or you want to go back and watch your own reading again, it's going to be available on YouTube. And along with all the other readings, I try to post them as often as I can. Thursday I didn't post. I was in a weird mood. It was a weird reading. I talked about a lot of personal shit I don't want my person to see, so I just didn't post it. Learned a lot though, Nicole, if you're still here. I don't know if you're still here or not, but damn, I got some insight into that same night about my person and about what's holding them back. And it literally is money. It's literally money that's holding them back. And I was like gonna be salty about it until I remembered that the whole reason that I haven't finished my record or pursued my music career is money. And then I was like, God damn it, son of a bitch. I hate that. But I'm working on it. So thank you so much. Steph, you're always spoiling me with the gifts. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. All right. Plus it was Lucy the llama. I mean, come on. She's so adorable. All right. So Nicole and Steph and anyone here who wants 2 cards. I can't remember if I did 2 cards already. I think actually Lindsay got 3, her big readings. So it is always money. It's money that holds me back. So what happened was, so just to give you insight, do you remember that night I posted a video on my TikTok that was talking about my financial situation? Like I was like, I haven't booked readings, I'm really struggling, you know, and I like literally cried at the end, which I fucking hate. My Pisces is just such a little bitch. Like my Leo that's like, I don't care, I'll cry if I want to, it's my party. But then my Pisces that's literally tearing up at the drop of a hat, and I'll be like, don't cry right now, don't cry. Like I've always hated it in the workplace because I'm a bad bitch. And I will immediately want to start crying over some conflict. And I have no control over it because my Pisces is like, it's like, calm down. But anyway, I posted that, hey Carissa, I'm seeing you want 2 general, so I'll pull general for you. I posted that message, and then his ass posted like attracts like. And I was like, are you telling me that's the reason? And then after, I was talking to my friend about it on the phone, and I was saying like, I really think that that's what he's saying in that video or whatever. Then he posted another thing that said, yup. And I was just like, okay, if you can telepathically hear me say that, then why don't you just fucking talk to me and we'll deal with our goddamn financial problems together, for fuck's sake. Son of a dick. Okay. Let's see what's coming out for you, Carissa. We've got here, you are a Cancer. He's a Cancer too. Y'all Cancers love me. I love my Cancers too, but the not communicating thing, the holding stuff inside, that is challenging for my Leo ass. But my Mercury and Mars are in Cancer, so I can dish back that passive aggression like nobody's business. All right, Chris. So the 2 cards that came out for you, we got the 10 of Wands. Did we get the 10 of Wands for you last night? I feel like I got the 10 of Wands for somebody last night. I don't remember if it was you or not. And then the King of Swords. So you're feeling pretty burdened by this emotional detachment, this cold, seemingly unfeeling, analytical, strategic energy. And maybe you're required to be in that energy right now. Maybe Capricorn season is challenging you. Maybe you're burdened by that. Okay, so it wasn't you last night, but I pulled the 10 of Wands for somebody last night. So this is just, you just want to put this down. You don't want to deal with this lack of feeling, lack of emotion. The King of Swords is incredibly truthful and honest and in his integrity, and he actually does communicate directly. But he communicates directly nothing, no feeling. There's not a lot of feeling there. It's very frustrating, kind of a sense that I get from from that energy. So it just feels cold. And it also just, maybe you just feel this responsibility or this heavy burden to have to figure things out or strategize, and you have to put your emotions aside and just do things that maybe you just rather be lying on a beach somewhere, but no, you have to actually kind of deal with all this stuff, and it's difficult. I'm realizing I said I was going to do an oracle for everybody, so I'm going to pull an oracle, even though I pulled 2 cards for you anyway, because I wanted to do that. Plus, I kind of want to give you something more than just like, you're burdened by this. Like, okay, well, so what then? What then? Oh, you're married to a Gemini. It's literally the air sign. That's so funny. My son is a Gemini. I love him dearly, but he's my son, not my partner. You know what I'm saying? He does have a nice girlfriend, though. She's so sweet. All right, let's see. Wow, this was the card that came out earlier, but it actually came out upright now. So you've got some kind of a decision to make about the situation. It's kind of this feeling of like, honestly, you can't keep carrying the burden of it around, you know? Your best friend is a Gemini. 13. I don't know why Geminis get such bad reps. I enjoy them. As a Virgo, the sign that I have the hardest time with, and once I make friends with the sign and we're cool, but it takes a long time to get over the hump with it, is a Virgo. And that's like Virgo sun. And my mom is a Virgo sun, so I think it's triggering for me. They usually disapprove of me. I feel the judgment oozing out of their pores when they're like, you're very loud, you make everything about you. I'm like, I'm sorry, everything should be about me. But I can acknowledge that I'm very narcissistic. At least I have awareness. At least my Pisces gives me self-awareness, okay? And like compassion and empathy. But it should be about me. I mean, I'm way more interesting. Come on. Okay, so Carissa, fork in the road, decision of some kind to make. It's like you're tired of the burden, and I think your higher self is like, okay, well, when you're tired of something, you got to put it down. You have to put down the burden. So how is that applying? Let's look at it. It's time to make a decision. Considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. The relationship message is you've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated? To go deeper and commit to a mutual passion, or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do. Invest and give. Then choose. You can't make a wrong decision. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. I mean, this is saying you can't lose with the decision that you have to make, but you do need to make it. And I think maybe, you know, if it's a situation where you're like waiting for the other person to stop being emotionally unavailable, there's a certain like lack of motivation for them to do that if you've constantly been carrying the burden. It's like if somebody's always going to be like, hey, let me carry that for you, I'm going to be like, totally cool, that saves me the effort. I don't have to make the effort. And I don't think I'm going to wake up one day and be like, you know, I want to carry it, let me carry it, you know. It's like, hopefully, if you're my partner, I will wake up one day and be like, you know, you really do this a lot. And I think that I should really step up and start helping you. And if that person isn't having that happen, it might be because there isn't a conversation that needs to be had about it. There isn't an acknowledgement of it. And sometimes the best, you know, the wake-up call is a person saying, hey, I'm not going to carry this anymore. I'm not carrying it anymore. If you want to be part of this partnership, you better fucking pick up some of these sticks, okay? Because I can't carry this all by myself. So definitely think about, you know, how you're going to approach that and what it's going to look like. And also just feel confident that you can't get it wrong. Whatever decision you make, whatever choice you make, it's the right decision at that time. And it will result in exactly what you need. And that's always true. Thank you so much, Brittany, for the rose. I appreciate it. Also, you just got the #1 gifter badge. I see that coming up there. Thank you. All right. Let me see. You're welcome, Carissa. Nicole, Virgo, and we're besties. See, that's the thing. If I'm cool with a Virgo, like if we're cool, then I think they're incredible friends. Like you're so giving, you're so nurturing. My mom gives like the best presents, very thoughtful, you know, smart, witty, funny. Like I love the humor from a Virgo. So when I'm in a good place with a Virgo, it's great. But like when I first meet one, usually there's that like there's like it's just this little friction, and if we can work it out, and of course everybody's always a sum of all their parts. So you know, you might have like a rising or a moon sign that really vibes with me, whereas like my mom and we have issues because of our charts. Like my sun is in Leo, my moon is in Leo, her moon is in Leo. That makes us both emotionally sensitive and kind of arrogant, that our emotions are the most important. And then she's a Scorpio rising, which, and we've got my Venus is in Virgo. So my relation, so we have like, I feel like we're too similar in some ways, and then have that drastic difference in how we handle ourselves and what we think is appropriate. And so it's just like nails on a chalkboard sometimes. But then like our taste is so similar. Like I always love how Virgos dress. I love how Virgos decorate their homes. I love how they organize things. Like I love all those things. So it's not that I don't like Virgos. It's just that if I usually have trouble with somebody, like a lot of times it'll be somebody that's has a Virgo sun placement. And it probably is just because it's triggering because of my mom. You know what I mean? But I do have Virgo friends, and I love them. You have a Scorpio rising? Ooh, girl, with a Cap moon. That's Earth. And then the Scorpio rising, I think, is what gives my mom, like, she was always into, like, Catholic mysticism and stuff. But very tight-lipped about her feelings and experiences, which then makes her that resentment builds, and then you don't know why she's explosive, you know? The Capricorn moon, that's very interesting. What an interesting combination. I like it. I'll get to know you a bit more tomorrow, right? You're coming to the event. It was you that bought the ticket, right? I don't know. I didn't know if that was your last name or not, but I was assuming you were the Nicole who is coming to the event tomorrow, which is exciting. All right, let's see. Who else? Taurus sun, Virgo moon, and Libra rising. Oh, more Earth. And then that air. Very interesting. Taurus, my brother is a Taurus sun. I love Tauruses. Y'all are as weird as me. My Pisces rising makes me such a weirdo. Yay! I'm so happy, Nicole. I'm really excited about it. I think tomorrow's going to be really awesome. It's a very small group, but maybe that's better. You know, we'll have a lot more time to kind of individually talk about our experiences if we want to. It is, of course, you can be anonymous at the event if you want to as well. Okay, so I got Carissa's cards, and then a lot of comments happened. So I'm just going to have people chime in right now. If you're a subscriber or you do subscribe to my page today, I will pull 2 cards for you. Just hop in the comments and let me know what your question is, and I will go ahead and pull those 2 cards. And I'm pulling an oracle today, I guess, as well, because we did that for Carissa, so I'll keep doing that. Star Babe, you're a Scorpio, Sag rising, and Libra moon. I have another friend who's a Scorpio with a Sag rising, and she's my fave. Or no, it's just the opposite. She's a Sag sun and a Scorpio rising. And then I can't remember what her moon is. Maybe Aries moon or something. I don't know. She's just 100% so spontaneous. Like 2 days before leaving, she's like, oh, we're going to go to Georgia for the holidays. Bye. It's like, okay, see you later. I love that. Nicole. Okay, let me get your 2 cards for you. Hi, Gina. You missed a lot, but it's going to be on YouTube later, so you can catch it on Tuned In Tarot YouTube. But I did a collective reading, and I did some personal readings, but we are going to end tonight with, we're going to do a little ritual together, have a little quiet time and do some writing. We're going to write a letter to ourselves, forgiving ourselves, because it's the full moon in Cancer tonight. That bitch. That's all I have to say about this full moon in Cancer. That bitch, okay? It's really giving me a run for my money today. But it's a time when a lot of our emotional wounds kind of tend to surface. We can be very sensitive. We can be experiencing some like nostalgic things that are very uncomfortable. You can go watch the YouTube reading to find out what my situation is right now. When it was back up, but we're gonna write a letter to forgive ourselves for anything that we are kind of holding on to from 2022. So anything you kind of want to forgive yourself for, we're gonna do that together. Okay, let's get Nicole's oracle here, and we will go in. Ooh. Okay, this already came out twice tonight, but we've got the 2 of Wands for the 3rd time's a charm. And it's coming up with this good old Knight of Pentacles. You had a crazy reading as a Cancer on a Cancer moon. That's true. That's true. Your reading was really... oh, that's probably another reason why my readings are, like, zinging tonight. Because the full moon energy is definitely, like, helping to... meet a channel. I wasn't even thinking about that, because my readings tonight, I'm like, excuse me. Like, and I can't claim, I'm not being a Leo about that. I'm being like, my readings are so accurate. I'm being like, as a vessel, what is coming through is like very accurate, but it's not me. It's just, I'm just the lovely vessel that you get to watch do it with the potty mouth. Okay, so the 2 of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. 2 of Wands. We asked for something, and it's taking so long to arrive. Like, what are you doing? It's like, you know, this little guy, he's like starting down here, and he's just not even, he's not even over this first hump, it's feeling like. It's just, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what is going on? And it seems so solid and so reliable and so stable, and like maybe it's so solid and so reliable and so stable that it's literally just a fixed statue. Like, it's not even going to go anywhere. That's the feeling I'm getting. And there's a restlessness and just really wanting something to freaking happen. And so, Nicole, I mean, I think I know, like, I feel very, very similarly with my twin situation. It's just like, it's just, I don't know what it's going to take, right? It's just like, what is it going to take? So let's do your oracle, which is Round and Round from the, I put the book in the wrong spot. From the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Colette Baron Reed's amazing advice here for us tonight, and this is 25. So technically, members are getting 3 cards tonight because of an accident, but I don't hate it. Okay, the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. Cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. So the appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you have gone backward, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level looking down into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned, which is kind of cool. Are you wondering, how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a little too familiar? Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine, as you get to do things again, only differently this time, for you learned something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. And then just to give you the prosperity message, if you are in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past? It is a good time to get a coach or mentor who can help you see what you can't on your own, repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going round and round. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a big, helpful thing for all of us, because in terms of the round and round, so Nicole's participating in the event that's tomorrow, which you can still get a ticket, is the 11th hour. You can still get a ticket right up until about 10 a.m. tomorrow, just because at that point I won't be able to send you the welcome packet with all the links in it and stuff. But it is an event where we are going to spend the entire day. First, the morning, we're going to release the things that are keeping us from living the life that we would really like to live. And then after we have like a ritual cleanse and a snack, we're going to come back and we're going to rebuild. We're going to do vision boards. I got my magazines, so I had to they did not have a huge selection. And then I'm kind of irritated because I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I didn't realize that this is actually a journal, like, magazine. And I went to pay for this. I was like, $27. Why is it so much? I just got it anyway because there was literally no other magazines. But it has like really good images in it, and so I'm just gonna be zen about cutting it up because I already have a $38 journal for like freaking planning thing. But anyway, so we're gonna be doing vision boarding, we're gonna be doing goal setting, we're gonna be probably doing a lot of crying with the full moon again. So it's gonna be great. So come and join us if you're interested. It starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with a keynote speech. We're gonna have brunch together. If you're coming in this 11th hour, you may not have time to buy the ingredients for the menu, but there is a menu and you can use it later if you don't get to use it tomorrow. But there's just like a few different tracks you can take, and it's really cool. It's going to be super fun. So I hope you take advantage of it. We're going to watch a movie together for those that are interested. You'll be learning a lot about this book, Creative Visualization, which is a fundamental book that was written in the 70s that really informs a lot of what we know now about using visualization. And it's a really good, helpful book, and it has a lot of cool meditations in it, which I found out you can listen to for free on Hoopla. So if you download Hoopla, I think you can like check it out from the library or whatever, and it's free. Okay, Jindy, let me get your cards, babes. And so basically I'm reading for my subscribers right now 2 cards. I got Nicole's, I got Carissa's, we're gonna get Jindy's. If you're a subscriber and you would like your reading, just let me know. Okay, so what we have right now is the 2 of Pentacles and the Tower in reverse. So the 2 of Pentacles, we've got the lemniscate really prominent. That's the infinity symbol. If you don't know the official name of it, it's called the lemniscate. And it represents eternity, something that never ends. And the 2 of Pentacles is about a change, like really needing to make a choice to make some kind of a change. making some kind of a decision to change. It can be about juggling responsibilities and trying to balance something out. And then the Tower, of course, when it's upright, it's typically about sudden divine intervention that makes us pretty uncomfortable, so that we're sort of forced to let go of something that we were really holding on to. When we get a reversal on the Tower, it's telling me that as much as you want to change, there is a resistance here to doing so. And there is this hope that you can keep the Tower from crumbling, that you can stabilize it in some way. But all signs are showing that it's just going to be, you're just going to keep cycling and looping and looping and looping unless you start to really embrace the discomfort you're in and acknowledge that it's coming from not making a change and no longer resisting, just letting what isn't serving you just fall to the floor, finding out what's salvageable, and then rebuilding from there. That's definitely coming up here for these two cards. Let me get you an oracle for a piece of advice. And ooh, we got the community card. So this is about the people around you. So maybe there's something about where you are right. Oh, that's an 8 too. Look at that. That's very interesting. Okay. So belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, and knowing your place in the world. And this card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. You're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share. These are times when you follow and the other person leads. There are times when you follow and the other person leads. And times when you lead and the other follows. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of that dance, which also a lot of times this card is associating with the dance, the back and forth, the cycle. Yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. You are in the perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. Yes, Gina, I will get your cards, don't worry. So yes, I do think you're maybe resisting, but there definitely needs to be a change in how you're interacting in a relationship. That's definitely coming through here in those cards. So good luck on making the change. World's worst at change. Was it you that was a Taurus energy? Who was the Taurus energy? I know it's hard for Tauruses to change. I get that. But when we do rip off the Band-Aid, we can really heal, right? We can, or discover that we have healed. Okay, Gina. Oh, you're the Virgo. Gina, let's go ahead and pull your two cards. So Gina doesn't have a prayer badge, but she is a member on my site. So if you are a member on my site, please let me know, and I will. You are entitled to the same privileges of receiving your two card readings whenever. That card wanted to jump in. I take it. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles was covering up the star, which I think is an interesting phenomenon because the star shines brightly and there's something covering it up right now, and there's a peacock here, and the Nine of Pentacles I usually associate with being single and independent. It can be self-indulgence is one, and then being really attached to something in the material. And so I'm getting a sense that there is an attachment to someone that is actually, Carissa's the Taurus, there we go, that is actually blocking some light. It's blocking your star quality. It's not letting you tap into your single and independent energy and enjoy the rewards of your hard work. So this attachment is just kind of, it's really, it's blocking that you have the star quality to a certain extent. It's like giving someone else, putting someone on a pedestal maybe, and it's kind of keeping you from seeing your ability to shine brightly. And then we're getting the Seven of Cups. So this is like confusion, lack of clarity about which direction to go, but it's also about all the opportunities that await you. So if there's an attachment to one specific person that you've been wishing or hoping for, it's causing you not to see that you have all these other opportunities, all these other options to experience like your full brightness, to shine. Like this attachment is not allowing you to shine, but there are others out there who would actually allow that to come through for you. Your oracle is TikTok, the protection message number 30. So let's check that out. I love when I get the TikTok card when I'm on TikTok. So the protection message is, have you been feeling as if the clock is ticking and gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There is nothing to fear. You will never run out of time for the important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You're in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine appropriate timing. You can relax. Now this is resonating with me, the part, or with your reading where it's saying, have you gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? Because there is this sense that if you're attached to this one person and hoping it won't come true, you're not actually exploring all these other options, and you're actually being given the time and space. Look at the time is literally in space to do that. So I think that you don't have to worry that if you go and just kind of look at other things that fulfill you or that will bring you joy, even other people to a certain extent, if you're in a place where you can really sort of tap into that, which we aren't always in that energy on our journey, but even if it's just a little like dipping your toe in, because sometimes getting a sense of how many options we have really helps us to take that person down off of the pedestal, because it's holding them up on a pedestal that emphasizes that we're not worthy of them. And so it might be just, you might be being given this time to explore, and you would really benefit from it if you did. So that's what I'm seeing coming for you. Okay, I think I got everybody who is a subscriber. If I didn't, let me know. But I'm going to start the part of today's session where we're going to write our letters. So let me get a piece of paper that I can burn. So basically, all we're doing is, I can't put that away right now, I'll do it after. Okay, you're just taking a piece of paper that you can either burn or tear or however you want to dispose of it, doesn't matter. And you can write the date on it if you want to, because it's going to be a letter to yourself. And you just write your name, Dear Pearl. And now you're going to write, I forgive you for, and you are going to forgive yourself for anything that you've been holding on to from 2021. And honestly, it could be things that you have done even prior to 2022, prior to 2022, but you're still holding on to it in 2022. And then anything that really came up this year that you just maybe feel some regret or, you know, frustration in regards to. I want you to just start to forgive yourself. Now, there was something in this. There was a card that we pulled today that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to include that. But I don't remember what card it was, and I want to. Let me see. After you've done this, you're basically just going to dispose of it. And as you dispose of it, just really release. This is like when you're Catholic and you go to confession and, you know, you're given your penance and you're forgiven, and you have to let it go. You no longer hold on to it. You don't feel responsible for it anymore. That's actually what you're being called to do right now. I'm going to find which one it was. Chain in the wind, a fork in the road. Was it a fork in the road? It might have been Never Ending Story 139. Let me see. Yes, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old stories. Okay, so I wanted to include that. I just wanted to remember that. Okay, so you're basically just going to write down anything you want to forgive yourself for. So I'm going to be doing that, and you can be doing that too, and then we'll burn it together. So the way I phrased it is I said, I forgive you for telling myself old stories and believing them. Or I forgive you for telling yourself old stories and believing them. Man, I have a lot of stuff to forgive myself for. Oh my god. Like, as I'm just writing, I'm like, I don't know if this paper is gonna hold it all. It's so much. if this is hard for you, but it's challenging. So if you're just joining, what we're doing right now is we're writing a letter to ourselves, forgiving ourselves for anything we're holding on to from 2022 or prior to that, and then we're gonna release any of that with the full moon energy tonight. So I ended it with, I forgive you for anything I've left out or am too ashamed to write down. I thought I'd forgiven myself, but to really focus on it is difficult, right? I'm doing this, I'm not crying, which is a sign that I'm not emotionally processing anything that I'm writing down right now. I'm just getting it out. And it's okay if you're experiencing emotion or you're not, it doesn't really matter. It's simply the act of just realizing how much you do hold against yourself, how much you're programmed to hold against yourself. And this is a chance to be free, because tonight when you burn this, you really are saying, by the way, this is how I do when I have to burn things indoors. I have a cauldron that I use. When you burn this, you really are saying that you are no longer going to carry the guilt for these things. And if it comes up after this, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just a chance for you to gently remind yourself, I have already been forgiven. I have forgiven myself for that. I don't have to hold on to that anymore. And I'm really proud of you for writing this down, because it's not an easy it's not an easy task. So I'm really proud of you for doing this tonight. So you can either burn this now, or, you know, if you have to go outside or do it in a different room, you can do it after, but I'm going to go ahead and burn it now. And I release this with the full moon energy. With the help of the angels, the saints, my guides, the gods, I no longer carry this burden. I'm free. Wow, it burnt pretty fast. All right. You had a lot more than you thought? Yeah, me too. My hand is cramped. I probably could have flipped it over and kept writing, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, whatever I've left out or whatever I can't say, I'm forgiving myself for that. So once you've done the magic of the full moon release energy, you know, people are like, you can't manifest on the full moon. And I'm just like, okay, you're always manifesting when you're thinking all the time. So you can do whatever you want. But the power of the full moon energy is in the power of release. So when you're releasing something, you're making space, you're automatically creating space. And there is the law of vacuum, really, which is when you create space, something has to come in. So now, if you want to, and I'm going to actually have to sign off because I have to call my son back, but if you want to now, after that you've burned this, you've created space within you, you can now call in any of the things, any of the intentions that you may have set at the new moon cycle. So now is the time where you just call those in to fill the place that has been opened, to allow space for the things you desire. If you're not carrying guilt about something, then you're able to bring it forward and call it into you. So you don't even have to do anything to do that. You can write it down if you want to, but you don't have to. You just have to feel the space that's now there, to be able to put your time and energy towards something else. Because when we hold on to all that stuff, it's taking mental space. It's taking energy to continue to hold a grudge against yourself for those things. And now you've just freed up that energy, which is really beautiful. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I will see you probably Monday, unless you're going to attend the event tomorrow. The tickets are still available and will be until tomorrow morning. And at 10 o'clock, I will send anybody who hasn't received a welcome packet, I will send it out so that you have everything you need to begin. We are going to start at 11 a.m. tomorrow with you, your coffee, whatever. We'll introduce ourselves. For those of you that are interested in introducing yourself, you'll have a chance to introduce yourself, and I will talk about the schedule for the day and about some different things to keep in mind throughout the day during the retreat. And then we'll get into it, and I'm really excited. It's going to be so cool. I'm super stoked. I'm sure there's going to be some technical issues and all that kind of stuff we'll have to deal with, but overall, I think it's going to be a really amazing experience. And if you don't have the opportunity to attend the event tomorrow, I'm going to try to record everything so that I can make it available afterwards. And you could basically do it on your own time. You could invite a friend or two to do it with you, however you want to do it, but you'll have all of the materials and be able to follow it yourself. So I look forward to being able to interact with people and see them over the Google Meet tomorrow, see faces. And for those of you that do want to use your video, you don't have to. Also, you can just use audio, or you can be anonymous. You don't have to actually actively say anything if you choose not to. Just keep that in mind. So yay, I'm very excited, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Those of you who are participating, if you didn't get to see this whole reading, it's going to be available on YouTube later this evening. So thank you so much, everybody. I will see you Monday. Take care.